become your best pal when she's here.
Who's here?
She's here,
Doris dear.
It's Doris with a cocktail in hand. She's the perfect housewife, and her Rumpus Room might have a band.
Well, maybe.
It's Doris and her dear friends. They live up in the sky, but for the chance to sing and dance, her friends might also buy. It's Doris. It's Doris, dear. She's that girl on the street. She'll show up with a squeak. You'll adore when she knocks on your door. Press her on. It's Doris, dear's Girl Talk.
Hi dears, welcome back to Doris Dear's Girl Talk. I'm your hostess, Doris Dear, otherwise known as America's Perfect Housewife. It's good to see you back in the Rumpus Room. You know, I thought we'd do a little segment about me. I have many fans write in and ask me questions on my website at dorisdear.com, so I thought, well, why not tell people about Doris? I grew up in a little island just a quick ferry ride from Manhattan called the island of Staten. Oh, and by the way, the Staten Island Ferry, well, it's the best free ride in town. You get amazing views of the Statue of Liberty and the classic view of downtown Manhattan, all for free. I remember Mom taking me to the city on the ferry and loving every minute of it. Those ferries actually became part of the zeitgeist when they starred in a Frosted Mini-Wheats commercial. Now, growing up on Staten Island in the 1960s, suburbia, well, it was a true joy. There were lots of wooded acres to roam and catch salamanders and places to ride bikes, small villages with mom and pop shops, old public trains that I swear you could walk faster than. We would all play hide and seek all summer until the streetlights came on. Everyone knew each other. Neighbor watched out for neighbor. And Dad, well, he worked for the telephone company. And you know, my sister and I, well, we had our own record players and we were one of the first colored TVs on the block. Fancy. The island was full of big old movie houses and, well, people came far and wide to bask in the sun on its beaches. Those were great times, believe me. You know, it slowly changed when the Verrazano Bridge opened in 1964. People discovered the island and all it had to offer, and they moved in with, well, little zoning laws. Each time I came home from college, it was like a different place. Houses were being built at an enormous rate. It's not the place I grew up in anymore, but, well, the memories, I'll have them forever. And I cherish them so. Thanks, Staten Island. You're always in my heart. So sit back, relax, and now it's time for some psychic magic. And now, on to the book. Today's guest is a Scorpio. Like my mom. Let's see what Miss Dahl has to tell. Scorpio, the sex and power player. My goodness. Scorpio, known as the sex sign of the zodiac, is full of swirling passion and sexual magnetism. Well, they are self-directed creatures with a will of steel. Wait till you meet my guest. Scorpios have intense personal magnetism, and when they tackle you, you're in for a breathtaking time. I'm gonna keep my distance. My goodness, let's see. Oh, they'll never do anything halfway. Marie Antoinette is the example. I don't know. Let's see. How to raise the temperature of a dynamic Scorpio man. Listen up. Rendezvous in a haunted house. I don't know where she gets this stuff, honestly. Tune into his sexual fantasies. Underneath that exterior are some wonderful surprises. Hashtag men in lingerie. Scorpio loves black. Well, once you go, well, you know what I mean. Ask him to teach you all the mysteries of love and sex, even if you already know them. You know, Miss Dahl loves playing that she doesn't really know anything. My goodness. Always the subservient, Miss Dahl. We know better. Now, let's see. Her lessons to learn. Exercise regularly and lose weight. Her and the extra pounds. Well, that's Miss Dahl. And that's her advice to the Scorpios. Thanks, Miss Dahl. Love ya. Mwah. Well, that's our Scorpio reading today. Thank you, Arlene, and your Lovescopes. Well, I think you get the idea. Oh, it's great stuff, isn't it? Remember, each show I'll be sharing some simply wonderful nuggets from this fabulous book. So mix up a great cocktail, sit back, get comfy, and get your zodiac on with Arlene Dahl. Tune in each week for a little bit of fun. And don't forget, you can find all these stories on my website at dorisdeer.com/Gurl, Gurl, -talk, all one word. Oh, who could that be?
Doris, dear, I'm here, honey. It's Brenda. Hey, Doris, are you here or no? What the hell happened? I'm supposed to meet her here. I don't know. Well, all right. Listen, I guess I'll just go my way.
Brenda Vaccaro, darling. Welcome to the Rumpus Room with Doris, dear. It's so
Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
Thank you. Honey, what does rumpus mean?
Well, as they actually said it in an I Love Lucy episode that
I
it's
love
called
that.
it's called a rumpus room because every time we have a rumpus, I get sent to the room. But It's good, right?
No better thing I could have heard. And never had a better clarity.
All right, Brenda
That's great.
Buell Vaccaro.
Yeah.
I mean, Wikipedia is our friend, thank God. So, American stage, television, and film actress. Now, a career spanning over half a century.
Oh, I don't want to know that.
I know, right? All right, but here, you were born in Brooklyn, New York, right? Yeah? To an Italian-American parents, Christina Mario, a restaurateur, but raised in Dallas, Texas, partially.
Who was a restaurateur?
It says that your father
yes,
was a restaurateur.
Yeah, I suppose, yes.
And in
Most of this is wrong, but let it go.
yeah, Mario's Restaurant, is that real?
Yeah, that's real in Dallas.
And you graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hockaday, too. That was the girls' school in Dallas.
Ah.
Yeah, they said to my father, we don't think she's a Hockaday girl. So the nuns didn't get along with me either. So
Nuns
I
didn't
was
get
went
along with me either.
to St. George, what was it, St. Mary's Cathedral School for Girls or something. And the nuns called my father up after I stepped on her. What do you call those things they wear?
The habit.
Yeah, I stepped on it while she was walking in front of me in the church, and it came half off.
Oh.
That was it.
It's a bad habit, the habit.
We think you could find a better school for Brenda's needs.
Well, the nuns taught my,
I didn't get along with the nuns. I mean,
they taught us, Dear St. Anne, get us a man. How to say it every morning. As we knelt and made
That's
sure
great.
the skirt had one break at the knee. Because they had to be long enough.
Oh, wow.
I'm still doing that. All right, so you came to New York. Now you decided to. What made you decide to go in to be an actress and take theater? You came to New York and you studied the Meisner with Meisner, right?
No.
No, not Meisner.
That was the first year he wasn't there. David Pressman from Boston University. Only problem with David is he cried at everything. Every scene you did, he cried. So I don't know that he was that brilliant a teacher. But I think I got away with murder not having to work with Mr. Meisner either. I hear he wasn't the nicest guy on the block.
I think you always get away with murder.
Well, maybe. But anyway, David Pressman used to cry at everything I did. It was kind of funny. But it was a great school, and I did go there for 2 years, yes.
But what made you, what was it about? When did you make that decision that, okay, theater is where I want to go? I want to go to New York and be in theater.
I think this is really an important question, I'll tell you, because I believe in people knowing where they're going, and soon in their life, way beyond the parents' ability to accept that. Mm-hmm. My father thought that I was beside myself with audacity, that I didn't want 4 years of college. He said, you'll never be that free again. He said, that's your time, take it. He said, all that you learn will be under your belt for your whole life. I said, but I don't want that. He said, what do you mean you don't want that? I said, I know where I'm going. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to New York, Dad. I want to be on the Broadway stage." He went, "Oh my God." And he said a great line. He said, "Why? Why is my daughter picking the one thing that will probably constantly disappoint her?"
Oh.
Isn't that interesting? See, he thought knowledge was everything. He used to say to me, "You don't have any ass power, Brenda," which meant being a student, "but you got the gift of gab."
Ah.
And so he knew that I wasn't going to go, let's say, to MIT or Harvard School or Yale or whatever. He had all these aspirations, and I really didn't give a damn. I just wanted to go and be an actress. And when I was little, I was climbing up on a chair, looking in the mirror, making faces.
Ah, wait.
So my mother said, "Mario, what are we going to do?" He said, "I don't know. Pray that she knows when to bow out gracefully." He did say that.
Really?
Yes, it's so great.
We're never bowing out, are we?
Well, not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Now, of course, this season we are saluting the wonderful Arlene Dahl's Lovescopes book. This is her syndicated column. She had many years. She talked about the zodiac and how to fall in love.
Oh, how
So,
interesting.
yeah,
I don't
so
know how she thought she was going to get with that hairdo.
With that hairdo.
Hairdo. My God.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Now, you're a Scorpio.
Yeah.
So I created a cocktail for each show. I create a cocktail and I base it on your skin. And I made a Bloody Mary because, as it says, heavenly and earthy are the Scorpio.
Oh, how fabulous.
So you're heavenly and earthy.
But that's tomato juice. What's so heavenly or earthy
Well, it's
about
got
that?
earthy, the tomato of the earth, the fruit of the earth mixed with vodka, Worcestershire sauce.
I'm not gonna argue.
Tabasco. I think we should do a little cheers.
Okay,
Let's have a
cheers.
little
Yeah,
cheers.
there you
Cheers.
go.
Here's to Brenda Vaccaro. Mm.
Here's to you, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's heavenly and earthly. So he said, so you want to be a Broadway star, and then you became a Broadway star,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, wait, it says that, what was your first show? Your first show, the short...
Everybody Loves Opal
1961.
with beautiful, wonderful Eileen Heckard.
So, tell me about do you remember that moment, how that felt? Like, did you just, I'm on Broadway? Like, it's like the moment every actor dreams about.
Yeah, I think I was awfully excited. I think I called my mother on the payphone where I auditioned in the Broadhurst, and there at the end of the street was a payphone, which isn't there anymore.
Payphones now.
But I picked it up and I called my mother in Dallas and I said, "Ma, I can't believe it. I got this part." And she said, "No." I said, "Yeah, and on Broadway with Eileen Eckert and Stubby K. And I got it, Mom. I got it. And I'm making $250 a week." She went, "Oh my God, that's so much money."
Wow.
And that was my first job. I was so happy. I couldn't believe. It was like hitting that thing
Yeah.
when you go to the state fair.
It goes all the way up.
And it hits, and I was ecstatic. I was so happy.
I bet.
It was a great moment in my life, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of life-changing. You get to that next level.
Yeah.
And then everybody looks at you and goes, "Oh, she's on Broadway." It didn't matter if you've been doing it for 20 years out in regional, you're on Broadway.
You
now.
know what it really is, though, that's so interesting to me, because I remember there was a woman on a plane. She had a daughter, and we were talking about art and artistic things, and me being an actress and her daughter wanting to go to ballet school. All she does is dance around the house. What was I going to do? How old is she? 7. I went, she knows where she's going, honey.
Yeah.
Because at that age, it's like we didn't know Mozart, but I bet he walked up to piano stools, sat down, and played when he was 3.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Sometimes talent knows where it's gone.
Yeah.
And you got to let go and let it go, because there's nothing you're going to do to stop it.
I was one of the 3 kings in grammar school.
Were you?
It was the start of all of this.
See?
I was in a long robe. I've been wearing long things ever since. What can I say? From king to queen.
You knew your costumes at that age?
Of course.
My God.
Come on.
No
Costumes,
wonder
nothing,
you're
darling.
so beautiful.
This
It's-
is clothes. This is
it's
costuming.
great. See, but isn't it true? You know what you want to do sometimes?
Yeah.
It's just born inside. I think there's a song called "I Know Where I'm Going." That movie, too, with Wendy Hiller.
Right.
It was so good. Oh, my God, I remember.
And I do a lot
I
of
loved
work.
it.
A lot of work with the union, and young actors always say, like, I have a 42-year full-time career. How do you do it? I said, because you have to think there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
This is it. Either I do this or I'm homeless and I'm out of here. Like I just never.
You can't think it. You have to know it.
You have to know it. You have to know it and
Know it.
just keep going.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some Broadway. The Affair, Cactus Flower, How Now Down Jones, The Goodbye People.
I've got a great story about How Now Down Jones. You want to hear?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I had this song that Dorothy Fields wrote. Oh, Jesus, she could write. She was a great lyricist. But it was very complicated. It was a very complicated song. And it had to do with me being the mistress of the guy who ran the stock market. But he never remembered me. And when Neil Simon came to Boston to stand at the elevator in the Ritz, I went, "Hey, Doc," that's what they used to call him because he came to doctor shows up.
Oh.
He'd come to write jokes.
Yeah.
And I said, "I can't believe you're here. Oh my God. Please rewrite my opening scene. I'm not getting any laughs. I feel like I'm mugging and they're laughing." But he said, "Yeah, I'm here. They're buying jokes by the pound." I said, "Oh, put a pound in my show, my scene, will you?" And he got in an elevator and he was laughing, It was that night I got the scene. And I did it and it was great. I said, "Hi, Mr. whatever his name was, I can't remember." I said, "Remember me?" And he kind of looks at me. Hiram Sherman was playing the part. We called him Chubby. And he goes like this. And I said, "Your mistress." And huge laugh. Neil Simon sent me off.
Wow.
It was great. So anyway, I had this song, and it was really brilliantly written. Elmer Bernstein did the music, but it was very fast-paced. He's here. Oh my God, he's here! One of those songs, where you're acting and you're singing
Right.
and you're out of breath all the time. And one night, the audience stopped the show. And I stood there like a dummy, I just was looking at him. And Hiram came on and he stood there. He didn't do anything. Peter, who was the conductor, didn't do anything. And so I'm like, I was lost. I mean, I felt like I was a kid in Harlem, like, what street do I turn on here? I didn't know what to do. So I went like this. And of course, Sir George Abbott was directing at the time. They'd fired Arthur Penn. That's another story. Anyway, I went like this. And I said, Thank you. Well, oh my God. Get backstage. The show's over. And I hear this walk of this very tall man. Boom, 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 boom. Coming down the hall. He slams my door open. He said, "You never, ever do that again." And it was Sir George Abbott. And I went, "Huh?" He said, "Never stop the show. Never break the fourth wall. How dare you didn't know that?" I said, "Oh, I don't know it. I was so upset because I wanted him to praise me. I mean, this was a moment in my life I shall never forget. Holy Moses. An audience applauding you and you alone, and the orchestra's like stuck in space. Everybody was, it was an amazing moment.
Sure.
And he bawled me out terribly. He said, "You should have known this. Don't you ever do that again. You don't bow and thank the audience. You pick up your line, you go." I mean, he was right. It was a tough lesson, and it was a needed lesson for sure, right? Okay. Later on, Elmer Bernstein came backstage, and he held me in his arms and said, "You were brilliant. You deserve that. You were extraordinary. Thank you for bringing my song to life," and all these wonderful things. Somebody recently, through email, no, not email, what is that other thing? FaceTime? Sent me a picture of Elmer holding me in that moment.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was an amazing,
Wow.
What a switch.
A switch.
What a Broadway moment, baby. I mean, that was just something else. Something else.
That is great.
The way we learn our lessons, huh?
The way we learn on some. Ugh,
Yeah.
so many lessons.
Sometimes it's tough.
Jake's Woman.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of things here I want to show you since we're talking about Broadway. Here, Jake's Women.
Oh, yeah. You want to hear a great story about that?
Yeah.
Well, I was leaving the theater in, I guess, South Carolina. Neil Simon didn't want to do the play out of town like in Philadelphia or Boston. He didn't want to get criticized. See, he knew underneath, deep inside of him, there was work that needed to be done in this play. I guess there was a struggle all along. I didn't know that, but I recently heard that he was always depressed about this play, and he struggled with it. Okay, so here we are at this theater, and Ray Stark showed up, and Ray Stark was a producer. He used to produce all of Neil's films, and they were great friends. And they're walking out of the backstage down this brick hallway exit out to the street, one of those perfect backstage exits. And I came out and I'm walking behind them at a fair distance. This is lovely. At a fair distance. And all of a sudden I hear Ray say, "You got a great play here. I mean, come on, Doc. It's great. It's all together. It's beautiful. I love the first act. I think Helen Shaver's great. God, do he's going on and on." He said, "The only problem is you gotta write the ending. You gotta find an ending." And the script went up against the wall. And he said, "Don't you think I would have written an ending if I had it?" I turned around. I thought, I'm going back and say, I'm not going to stay here for the ending of this shit. I'm out of here. But you know how a playwright in his heart, he hit him right in the wrong place.
Wow.
And I thought, that's why the ending is hard to do. Isn't that interesting? So
Father's Day.
yeah, trying to remember it.
Another.
Where did you get all these?
There you are. Look at this. Wait, you have to show
I
that.
love...
The top of the line, Brenda Vaccaro. There it is.
Thank you, David Beagleman, for the building. He was my agent. Anyway, Oliver Haley, this was a difficult journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look at the people. Joe Malziner.
Come on.
I mean, come on. Look
Yeah.
at this. Anne Rolfe did the costumes. Annie's the best. Annie's the
Rolfe.
best.
She did one of your movies. Anne Rolfe
Yeah,
did Midnight Cowboy?
Yeah.
of
She
course.
did my first costumes in my first movie. And I adore her. She's here now.
Sally.
Yeah, she's going to do...
up in Maine.
You know about the Algonquin, Maine
They
thing?
love her. They love Sally Struthers in Maine.
Oh,
Who
my
knew?
God. She's
She
an
goes to-
Algonquin treasure.
Yeah.
She
But
is...
The Odd Couple.
I went in for Rita Moreno. She was so happy. She fell down on her knees when I came downstairs to say hello to her and to tell her I was
Such a great picture.
starting rehearsals. And she said, "I knew there was a God."
Such a great picture of you two.
Yeah, I love her.
So good.
She's like one of my best friends. Maybe the best.
And of course,
Crazy about her. Abe Burrows, he was lovely.
Cactus Flower.
He was lovely.
I know. Lauren Bacall, Barry Nelson. Come on,
Loved
Brenda Vaccaro.
Barry.
Bert Brickenhoff. Oh,
Brinkerhoff.
Brinkerhoff. Barry Nelson.
Never understood him. I loved him.
Abe Burrows.
Oh, he would blink his eyes and say, "Well, when I'm in the lobby, if I don't hear laughs, I know you ain't dancing."
Oh, but
He
there
was
you are.
good. Yeah. Oh,
There
my
she
God.
is.
What a hit that shit
Brenda
was.
Vaccaro.
What a hit.
Huge. And then
Huge.
huge hit.
It was
and then
like
turned to-
2 years.
Oh, and this
2
picture
years.
of you.
Yeah.
I have to show
That was
you.
in Downey's.
In Downey's.
Remember
really?
Downey's?
Brenda
Downey's?
Vaccaro.
Anybody remember
Look at you, the
Downey's?
little ingenue.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So great.
Young,
Cactus
young.
Flower.
These are lovely.
Cactus Flower.
These are lovely. Look at this. What was this? Well, they had the money to make this.
I know, and they...
David.
I know.
Oh, Robert Moore. I loved him so much. You want to hear a great story about Robert Moore?
Sure.
He had the best sense of humor. That was a very, very clever, funny man. And we had a scene where we were all at a cocktail lounge. There was Lauren Bacall, Barry Nelson, myself, and Robert Moore. And so we're all sitting in this round booth that went like this, circular booth. And we're in front of an audience, and some line was said. And so Betty's supposed to, that's what we called Lauren Bacall because she wanted us to. Anyway.
Betty.
Betty.
Betty Bacall.
And so she goes like this to him at some point because in the scene she wants him to do something like because of this. So all of a sudden Bob Moore goes, because it's a laugh, he goes down like this. And he's like, I'm thinking he's laughing. But I'm sitting next to him and I'm going, Bob. And so then I stopped. I thought, I don't want to get involved in this. I don't know what's wrong here. You know?
Don't stop the show. You learned your lesson once.
So he comes off stage, and we're in the wings, and I went, what happened? He said, God, she hit me so hard, but you know what she said when she came off stage? I said, what? She said, God, bob my elbow. I need to say no more about Miss Bacall. That's the best story you'll ever have about Miss Bacall.
Okay, now, this is so spectacular. May 29th, 1970.
What is this, the Brenda Vaccaro hour?
It's the Brenda.
What
You're
is
my
it?
guest,
You're
Brenda
so
Vaccaro.
cute. You certainly
But
are.
come on, look,
Thank
this
you.
is This picture's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's
Was a good photographer.
but it's it's got a great article in there. So tell me about this moment. I mean, this is a big moment. You're on the cover of Life magazine.
Yeah, and you know what? It's up in
1970.
Club 21. I wish it would open again, Club
I
21.
know. One of my favorite
But it's in the
spots.
bar. They framed it and they put it up because
Oh.
I've been going there since I was 17, for Christ's sake. What can I say? First of all, this photographer was amazing.
Actresses
quite
with
built-
more
quite
than
built.
glamour.
Yeah, yeah. Which was a very nice thing, except Geneviève Bujold. She was gorgeous. Oh my God,
Well,
wasn't
honey,
she?
so you were right up there in there. Come
I
on.
think these were amazing.
Beverly Todd, Verna Bloom.
These were great actresses too. What happened to everybody? Jesus,
don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Bonnie Bedelia, you remember
Bonnie
her?
Bedelia.
Susan
Yes.
Clark.
Look at you.
See, isn't that a great picture?
So great.
Yeah, this
Harry
photographer, I ran
Snodgrass.
into him once. He said, I took that picture of you for Life magazine. I went, I'm really impressed. I said, it was brilliant. Thank you so much.
So great.
He said, you know why you got on the cover? I said, why? Yeah, why? He said, because you were the most interesting looking one. I said, oh, I thought you were going to say pretty. I'll take
But
interesting.
that's beautiful.
I'll take
That's more than
interesting.
interesting. That's absolutely.
I decided to take interesting.
But
Interesting.
come on. Life magazine. I mean,
Yeah, no, it was great. No.
Dad, I'm going to go to New York and be a
And
star.
you know, remember, where is it? Grand Central? How they used to have that big picture up of whatever was on Life?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, and that was.
It was on there. My mother flew in from Dallas, Texas to go look at it in Grand Central.
I was going to say, what did the parents say about that? I
Yeah,
mean,
she
come
flew
on.
in. Yeah, she wanted to see. It was so
Isn't that
cute.
great when the parents are.
She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. I wish my dad had been alive. He wasn't then, so he didn't get to see it.
But how great when your parents see that success, especially like that.
She saw every show I was in.
Yeah, always there.
Always
I love
there.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, now then you start doing movies. Midnight Cowboy, unbelievable. I mean that is.
That's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're doing a documentary on it now. I
Yes.
think. Yeah. Such a great movie, but then you get nominated for an Academy Award for Jacqueline Suzanne's "Once Is Not Enough."
Yeah.
So
she was a
great.
great lady.
Was she?
People used to make fun of her at that time. Do you want these, darling?
You could just put
Oh,
this
okay.
there.
It's nice to see them. She was like, what was the name of it? What were we talking about?
Jacqueline Suzanne, "Once Is Not
Oh,
Enough."
Jackie.
Jacqueline
She
Suzanne.
gave me a bracelet once, and she was very shy and gentle, and I think people used to make fun of her in those days because of the kind of novels she wrote.
Right,
Today,
but-
she would have been praised as the queen of those kind of stories.
Right.
But
And they were her stories were
they
based
were
on a
making
lot of
fun
truth
of that kind of
because
literature
she
in those
lived
days.
in that Hollywood
Yes,
bubbly
yes.
and knew those people, and all these characters were based on.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was other writers, Saul Bellows. You know, it was a different kind of intellectual
Yeah.
kind of David Halberstam, all those guys. You know, but she was wonderful. I really loved her story. I loved who she was. I loved that I was in it.
and then you get nominated. I mean, again,
Yeah, it's
another
was,
pinnacle piece of what every actor hopes for.
Yes.
So what did that feel like going to the Academy Awards? And
I
you know,
knew
the
where I
whole-
was going.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it really is simple.
Yeah.
And you know what? It turns into work. It
Yeah.
doesn't turn into any kind of ego trip. It doesn't turn in any kind of, you don't become impossible, not if you're a good person and you're grateful for the work and the people that you meet and the world that you live in. And yes, the money that you make and the superlative directors that you work with, or just the different people in the world that come your way because of that work.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Could
It's
be an
a very
Indian
special
actor
thing.
like Kabir Bedi. All of a sudden, he's in a show and you're doing it with him. I do 100 films a year. 100 films a year. I live in India. You know, but all of a sudden there was this magic of learning about an Indian actor and what he experienced and who he was. He was so interesting, you know. But it was like
It's an amazing journey.
it was a great. I was older. I appreciated it more. I was going with Michael Douglas, and Kirk Douglas was in that film. Once Is Not Enough.
Yes. Yeah.
And
He
he was
played
giving
the
me
father of the
lessons.
other girl.
He was saying, Brenda, when it's a real close up on you, do not move. Do not bring your hands up to your face. Do not move. And he said, you move too much. I said, oh, okay. Do not move. You got 85 millimeter on you. Don't move. I said, okay. He was always giving me you don't have to do so much. You can do much less. I went, okay, much less, much less. You know, because I came from the stage, so we were big.
Yeah.
You know?
Less is more on
Less
film.
is more on film. It's
Yes.
true. It takes a while to learn it, you know?
Now
I think the Swedes are great at it, by the way.
Really good.
Have you seen The Restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh,
My God, yeah. It's fantastic.
you know what the Swedes do? They do this much acting. We do that much.
Yeah.
So if it's like somebody died in a Swedish film, they go, in Swedish, they say, he died a few minutes ago. And it's hardly anything. They walk out of the room and you cry. They leave the crying to you.
Yes.
They don't do it. They don't do it. We do it.
You know, we see movies, you know, they go back and recreate, but what, you lived it. And I know I've seen the pictures. We'll put some up. You lived it. What was it like?
You woke
what's
up
the
stoned
heart? Oh,
and you went to bed stoned.
okay. Well,
That
we're
was
done.
it. You
Thank
want
you.
to know? You want to know how simple it was? It's just you were whacked all the time and happy as a little clam in a shell. It was
Making
just like,
money.
oh, is this a
making
new?
movies.
This is Thai grass. Oh, great. Ooh, it was fabulous.
I love these interviews that went on so long that we had to do a two-parter. Aren't we fancy? Season 3. Telly Award from Season 1. Fingers crossed for Season 2. I love when friends drop by and we share some fun ideas and bring some joy to the world around us. Now, don't forget, please head over to www.dorisdeer.com/Gurl, Gurl-talk, for all of the information from today's show. And I hope you'll drop by the Rumpus Room again for more Doris Deer's Girl Talk. Thanks, Blake. It's a winner. Stay safe and hugs and love from Doris Deer. And remember, a dress doesn't get you anywhere. It's the life you live in the dress that matters. See you soon. Cheers.
It's Doris. It's Doris, dear. She's that girl on the street.
She'll show up with a sweet
You'll adore when she knocks on your door. 'Cause you're on. It's Doris, dear's Girl Talk.
Hi, everybody. Doris Deer here, America's Perfect Housewife. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for sticking by myself and all of my artist friends over the past year and a half. It's a new normal, but the arts are coming back. That's right, and we're going to come back strong. And I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you from the bottom of my Doris Deer heart. Please remember, a dress doesn't get you anywhere. It's the life you live in the dress that matters.